Look, we already have somebody on the line. Is that you? Is that you?
Is it me? Or is it you?
Oh, I'm here.
There you are.
Welcome, folks.
There he is.
We got kind of a little false start here. Mitch is here. We got Joel's taking a...
5-minute smoke.
Yeah, exactly. Let's turn it on this way. There we go. Okay, so we've got some questions here that were all asked by one person. So if you guys have any other questions, please feel free to ask those, and we will get to them at the end. It's pretty early here. It's not even 9:30, so
Yep.
we got some questions to get through. Joel will join us here in a second. And let's adjust this so we don't take the top of Mitch's head off, even though that's not the best part of it. Okay. Joel will be right here.
Yeah, he'll be right.
Okay, so CJ Hobbyfly, we're going to get to the first question that is not something Joel really can contribute to, so we can go ahead and get that out of the way. Rick Kevin's here. Good. Excellent. First question. Not exactly a question.
Uh-oh. Statement.
Yeah, a statement. Maybe something to discuss the next Q&A. Well, here we are. I know you like theme gaming night, so I thought maybe people use a list from a specified century. So you could have Millennium Madness for armies that were around the year 1000. Then each century could be a theme too. So 1100, 1200, etc. Food for thought. I agree. That's a good theme.
Yeah.
As long as we don't start at like 1100 BC.
Ooh.
Because I'd be borrowing armies. I don't have any of the BC
He's not
armies.
into those.
Yeah, but if we start at maybe every 200 year period, like you could start at 0, 200, 400, 600.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Uh-huh.
Give yourself a gold star right here on your forehead.
Thank you very much.
So he was watching. We answered some of his questions last time, and he was watching the last Q&A that we did.
Uh-huh.
And in that last Q&A, you were talking about Epic.
Okay.
Epic Space Marine,
Yep.
which apparently he has a liking for as well. He mentioned, nice to hear you talk about Epic. I was a big fan of Space Marine 2nd Edition, but when it got too heavy on the use of Titans,
Spoiled it.
it just went downhill for me. And Epic Armageddon just didn't do it for me.
No.
You know what that is?
They start getting in all these medium-sized Titans and big Titans.
They wanted to sell frickin' models,
Yeah.
and they ruined the game.
Yeah.
Got it.
But you don't have
Well,
to.
you know, the Titans, I never did any of it.
Take them out.
But the Titans, in my opinion, look stupid.
Yeah, well, I mean, we did when
It's stupid to have something this big.
Well, when I did, I would have scenarios too. And
Okay.
just because there's, in my scenarios, just because there might be a Titan on the board, doesn't mean that it's operational.
There you go.
Play with people's heads.
Mind screw.
Yeah. Everybody's always like, oh, why isn't he doing something?
So he says, Epic Armageddon just didn't do it for me, but I have played Net Epic once or twice since, and if you've not heard of it, I highly recommend checking it out on their website and downloading everything for free. Net Epic.
Yeah.
You know what it is?
I got them. They get a lot of the races are on there, and it's fun. Yeah, I like it.
So what's different about that as opposed to the standard game?
I mean, it's kind of like live time playing. Usually you're playing against a computer, but you can run campaigns.
What?
Like
It's a computer game?
Yeah, I think that's based the net.
Net Epic. I don't know what it is.
It's on the internet. That's what I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
I don't know what it
But
is.
they
We'll have to look up what Net Epic is.
I mean, I got the CDs, so I play it on my computer. I
Okay.
did. My computer. I play it on a laptop, and it's broke, so I don't do much computer.
How'd your
gaming
laptop
right now.
break?
Oh man, it was like 10 years old.
Yeah, well, that's like
stayed off
100 years in
I know. I stayed
in
off the
porn
internet.
in porn years. That's like 100 years.
I stayed off the internet, and then that way they download all the crap.
It does. That's the problem. I ended up getting my last not the one I have now, but the one before. It was 8 years old and just died from.
Yeah.
It would always get a redirect. You know, there's people out there putting viruses that don't even do anything. They don't even steal money or anything. You guys are just like screwing with other people. Like, if you want to be devious, make like a program that like has a picture like I got all your files or something like that, and like you can see like people's faces like oh shit, you know, and you know freeze it or something, but just not even knowing if it works. I don't know. People that are just being destructive, you know.
Yeah.
Go rob a bank. Do something useful, you know?
But it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun on computer or on the board. Either way.
There's Joel.
I'm gonna have to.
Oh.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My guilt not answering the phone.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, no questions for you then.
Yeah.
No, not tonight.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, no
Okay.
Joel.
Good seeing you.
Yep.
Glad
All right,
we
man.
got that.
Thanks for the Battle of Talavera.
Absolutely. And hopefully, with any luck, I'll be back next Monday.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Sounds
Play
good.
some DDA.
And you'll
night.
play whatever silly DBA
Whatever
thing
you're
we have.
playing, we'll play that
Okay.
night.
Maybe do some collision course.
Whatever you want to do.
Maybe. Depends who shows
During
up.
the day, we'll-
See, we have no idea who's going to show up. I'll be here, he'll be here, that's it. That's all we know. Joel will be here?
Maybe.
Maybe?
99, probably 95% of it.
Okay. Luke won't be here. I'm not going to count on Luke. I know Scott's coming. Marty's definitely not coming. Joe says he can't come back until he's done coaching. He's coaching softball.
Oh.
So,
All right, guys.
okay, man. Be
Drive
safe.
safe. Good seeing
Got
you.
everything.
I think so.
If not, you know what? It'll be right
Yeah,
here.
it'll be here.
That's true.
Take care, bud. He's coaching softball.
He's coaching softball.
Ah.
Not for free. They're paying him, so he's kind of
Ooh.
doing it on the side. Yeah.
So you can't teach him to clear the bench.
Well,
and use the
luckily
bats.
he enjoys softball because, like, if you wanted me to coach softball, I'm not going to do it. I'm just not interested. In it.
All right, girls, grab a bat. We're gonna go clean.
Oh,
the
it's a
bench.
girls' team?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe I wouldn't mind
I mean,
coaching
maybe that's
it.
what
Maybe I
you
wouldn't
said.
mind coaching it.
No, you do it for free.
No,
huh?
I'm not into
Oh,
that.
why
I
did
mean,
we offer money?
you know, it was like, you know, I always said if you collect things, not that coaching is collecting things, but if you're doing something on the side and it's something you're interested in, it makes sense. Like, it never made sense to me, people that would collect baseball cards that don't give a crap about, say, baseball. Yeah, that should be stupid. I mean, you know, from my outlook, I mean, I'm interested in the things I'm interested in, you know.
Yeah.
And you collect things not necessarily because they make any money. I don't know. I've always been of the opinion that you get paid for things you don't like to do.
Maybe it is.
Good thing, right? Or we're not going to do those things. So, okay, well, sorry to spoil your fun there, and
Or should be 3 questions for Joel.
three questions that Joel didn't get to answer. So it'll just be you and me. We've got lots of time to elaborate. You got a? There's not another soda in there, is there? Nah, I'm good. I'm good with water.
Sure.
No beer. No.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
Tony.
I was falling asleep last night, and then I got home, took a shower, and
Boom.
and then I went home, took a shower, and I stayed awake for like 2 hours.
Oh.
You know, so I'm going on like 2.5 hours of sleep.
Whew.
Okay. CJ Hobbyfly is the question answerer of
Gold
the
Star
moment.
Awarder.
Here's a good question for you.
Oh.
Have you ever played any sports games with miniatures, Blood Bowl, Dread Ball, Guild Ball, or something like that, and did you enjoy it? Or are there any you would be interested in but not played? Have you played any sports miniatures games?
Does it count?
Have you played Blood Bowl?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I mean.
Does it count with the electric football thing? That's how long ago I played.
Vibrator football? No. Foosball doesn't count either.
Oh, man. Well, then I guess that'd be no.
No, I haven't either.
But
I never saw the point. I don't watch sports, like, and I don't play sports. I did play some softball. The problem I had with sports, we're going way back. Hey, I gotta fill this stuff with content. You guys didn't give me enough questions, so. My dad never did sports. Okay, so he was a university professor. He was always in learning stuff. So I got geography, love of geography, and love of history from him, which turned into wargaming and stuff like that. If I'm going to play stuff, yeah, I played some softball, but I wasn't any good because I didn't have really anybody to practice with. But kickball, oh man, I freaking love kickball. Dodgeball, yeah. Anything that involves that red ball where you're like, I hate that guy. That's violence, okay? So you become that's more of a war game, okay? So I'm always pro doing stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
I still say that if you had gladiatorial combat, nobody would watch football. If you had try it. You know, people like, you know, wanting to spear, you know, I mean, yes, it's barbaric, but you don't want innocent people being killed there. If you knew that it was just bad folks, you know, yeah, you would watch it. Wouldn't you?
They made a movie about it, Running Man. Take all the guys out of jail. This is your chance to make
Wouldn't
things
you watch
right.
it? You'd watch it, wouldn't you?
Maybe.
American Idol. Nobody be watching that crap. Vote for me.
No.
Sorry, pal. Yeah.
Vote for the Trident.
That's right.
Chainsaw.
I could root for all of them except that somebody's running a hammer and sickle. Know what I'm saying?
Uh-oh.
Can't root for that guy.
Oh, God.
Not in this America.
Mallet.
No, I've never played any of those. I did play. No. Now, the only sports games I do like is. You never like sports either from France. That's okay. Yeah. One thing that I do like is. You ever played video game sports games like Madden?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like those.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like a war and stuff like that.
Atari, man. Way back in the day, you get football on Atari.
No, that thing sucks. No, I mean, Madden and stuff is good, man. You can do it. It's a war, it's strategy and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
You know, we had a hockey league one time, back on the Sega Genesis.
Uh-huh.
We had a hockey league. I had the Penguins, and you know, we'd go around and
Play the
play.
other guys?
Yeah, and the people would play and turn in their scores, and somebody could always. There's always somebody that instead of enjoying the game, they figure out how they're going to break it, and they turn in their score. And it was like 210 to 200. It's like, come on, it's hockey. You know that's that's not.
Bastard.
Yeah, that's you broke the game and you took the fun out of it. But okay, and we will get back to your questions, any new ones at the end of this. There's only 2 more questions, and then we can get to yours. So please feed us because we're interested in answering those questions. Well, question number, I'm going to skip to question number 3. What's your favorite little-known historical fact? We answered that in another one. We've already done that. I was going to do it if Joel was here, but who knows?
Yeah.
Do you have another one? I forgot what I said in the first one, but...
No, I just... things that are just kind of weird that happen that change a battle.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay, like what?
Well, like we were doing all these Peninsula games today, and I just kept thinking about the guerrillas and stuff like that, and it you know, like shooting all
What,
the
like
artillery.
Harambe?
Yeah, shooting all the artillery and stuff like that, and all of your powder and balls and all that. And it's like, okay, you better hope the guerrillas don't like intercept one of the columns coming down, or otherwise you're gonna be short. Then you got a problem for the next battle. You know, it's like, you know, the things that affect. That you don't see. Those are old ones.
I know, it's misbehaving back there.
Like,
quiet!
It's just stuff that can happen weirdly enough.
So nothing in particular stands out. I don't know what I said last time, but one thing that I was thinking about, because we're going to do this one again, because Joel didn't get his chance to answer this one, and of course he left before he got a chance to do that. But so what I first started getting into a long time ago was naval gaming, not with belly buttons, on the water, okay? And, you know, I have these big picture books that were in the 70s, and they'd have different kind of things. And I had this one my dad had of World War I. And one of the things they have on there is, right at the beginning of World War I, there was a German submarine ace that commanded a submarine called U-9. And he sunk, there were some old British cruisers that were on patrol bringing the BEF over. I think it was called the BEF in World War I. It may not have been called, but anyways, they were on patrol, and he went in and sunk 3 of them. And I don't remember what his name was, but later on, he ended up being in command of another U-boat. Okay, and it was the same. I could get this wrong, so don't crucify me if I have this wrong, because, you know, these things that I remember, but I haven't relived them, relearned them in 20, 30 years, so.
Yep.
But there's only one ship that is ever known to, there's only one battleship that ever sunk a U-boat.
Which one?
And it was a ship that was not at Jutland. The Dreadnought. The first one.
Oh.
Rammed
Yeah.
rammed the U-boat that this guy commanded and sunk him.
Oh.
Now, it was a different U-boat. But this guy, I want to say his name is like Bettinger or something like that. I don't remember, but look him up. He sank Aboukir, Cressy, and another ship, at the cruiser. And then later on, he got rammed. The U-boat surfaced, and Dreadnought happened to be there in the formation, and just, you can't survive getting hit by a Dreadnought, even if it is the Dreadnought. So, I remember that. It was just kind of ironic,
I never realized, and I'm not saying, because I remember the last Midway movie, where Americans had no fighters, but I thought it was interesting that...
I'm serious. That Midway movie makes Pearl Harbor seem better.
I know. But
Okay.
the one interesting
Because the
thing,
Pearl Harbor movie still has Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh,
So
yeah.
you still have that, folks. Okay? And that Battle of Britain, the Battle of Britain stuff, the special effects are really good. I mean, yes, it has Ben Affleck and he sucks. Okay? But, it had the special effects of that. And it had I wonder what happens if a battleship eats like one too many tamales. So you've got how it buckled and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a stupid movie, but I liked it better than the second Midway movie. Okay,
But
sorry to steal your thunder.
I just thought it was interesting, though, that the one dive-bomber pilot is the only one pilot in history to sink 2 different carriers.
See, I don't remember that.
It was very well, and I'm surprised because I thought that was kind of like super cool information that, wow, this one guy, I can't remember his name, unfortunately, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't remember his name either.
I think
I know that.
give you a little tidbit on the end of the movie about it, but in the last...
That was the main guy, right?
Well, yeah, one of them, because he had bad oxygen, and so he could never, after this battle, he was never able to fly again because he hurt his...
Was he the guy that I couldn't stand because he was the same actor that ended up playing the bad guy in Deadpool? That played Francis.
I think so.
Yeah, that guy was a dick. I can't have him live it down. Like, the guy's an asshole. I don't want him to do well.
But I didn't realize in history
Okay.
he's the only guy that ever sunk 2 aircraft.
Really, I didn't
realize
know
that
it.
either. I was
Well,
like-
I'm a World War II nut, but I'll be honest with you, I don't really care about the Pacific. I'm sorry.
Well, you would have
It's
thought the old, because I always thought the cool thing about the old Midway movie is they did a really good job of like, this is Hornet Squadron, Dive
Right,
Bomber
right,
6.
right. So
And in this, it was just kind of like, yeah, this is these guys, and they have no fighters.
It just follows that guy around,
Yeah.
and just of whatever
Yeah.
he was involved in. The thing that's striking when I think of Midway, and I think of aircraft, and I think of American aircraft, the thing that's very notable for me is that one squadron that was the torpedo bombers off of, I think it was Yorktown, where only one guy survived. They all got
Was it
shot
Gray?
down by one guy.
It's in gray.
Gay.
Gay.
His last name was Gay. The reason I remember is because, he has a unique last name, and I believe he was retired in the Ocala area. He retired in Florida. So,
I know a guy that was a teacher
Uh-huh.
at my school up there. He gained with us up in Illinois, and he went to one of the, I think it was at the Naval, where they give, you get to meet, but Gay was at the.
what are you saying? He went to some kind of meet and greet of like naval heroes or something?
They were doing a. I want to say, I don't want to say story, but you know how you dive into like, this is the Battle of Midway and this happened and all that. It was like, but a bunch of guys meet.
Like a lecture.
Like a lecture. There
Okay.
you go. Thank you. So it was a lecture. Ding.
Okay.
So we went to the lecture where they were doing
Uh-huh.
this deal on Midway,
Right.
and Gabe was there.
Yeah. Because
And
I believe he passed away close to 1990.
Yeah, this is a long time
something.
ago.
No, but I
But,
mean,
yeah.
it's not like he passed away in the 60s or something.
he bought a picture. They have like a picture where the Japanese carriers are on fire, and he's got his life vest, in the water,
I see. Cool.
and the guy signed it.
I believe he was off of Yorktown. It was definitely Devastators.
Yeah.
I always liked that plane. I mean,
Yeah.
I did a lot of naval gaming, so you want to really screw somebody, you don't hit somebody with a bomb. You have them take a torpedo. Okay, so even though American torpedoes at the beginning of the war were very duddy, The German torpedoes in World War II were actually very deadly as well, believe it or not. But people don't remember those. But yeah, that's he's the guy I remember, you know, because his entire squadron got hosed and he survived.
Impress us.
Yeah, yeah. So
but they're cool. I mean, they're cool little tidbits that people happen.
Since we're talking about aircraft, the last question's on aircraft, and I would have liked Joel to be in on this because there's different areas of this is World War II question. Okay?
Yeah.
There's different areas of knowledge. You've got land, air, and sea. And I really know more about the sea because I gamed that a lot. That's not I don't know anything about the land, but those two the most. Air the least, because it's difficult to find a game, to be honest with you, that's World War II aircraft that is fun to play or that doesn't take for frickin' ever. I mean, obviously there's flight simulators. I've played those back in the day, but you know, air is definitely my third thing. But this is a air-related question. So CJ Hobbyfly wants to know, what is your opinion? Here's the important word. The most beautiful aircraft of World War II. Doesn't matter if it was effective or not. Okay, split into various categories. Okay, fighter, bomber, or other, dive bomber, ground attack, etc. Also split into favorite Allied and favorite Axis. Okay, so here we go. You know enough about aircraft?
Yeah.
You know enough about World War II aircraft to do this?
Have you seen the ones flying around Gainesville? There's an air show somewhere.
Is there?
There was.
Well,
there's 4 of them in formation flying around.
I did see them, but they're probably like AT-6 Texans or something
probably.
like that.
One of them had to be because they're really loud. Those Texans.
The Texans are loud?
Yeah.
They're slow and, and they never had guns on them, so I'm not interested in them, you know. I mean, I should be honest with you. That's why I was never into space stuff, you know. It's like, oh, you gonna put guns on the rocket? No.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm not interested, you know. Okay, so let's do Allied. Let's do Allied. Let's do the good guys first. Well, 2 out of 3 of the good guys, okay? And then we'll do Axis. Unless you want to do Axis first.
So we're gonna do fighter Allied?
Yeah, what's your most beautiful Allied fighter?
Cadillac in the sky. P-51.
No, Cadillac in the sky. Oh, Cadillac. How about the Rolls Royce in the sky?
Oh.
Spitfire. Spitfire's better looking than a P-51. Sorry, pal.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about American aircraft. A lot of them are just ugly. And not necessarily because of shape, because of paint scheme. So anything in that olive drab, no good. Like a P-51 can be, if you have the one with the bubble canopy, the D, not the early one with the Allison engine that has, I don't know if you can picture, but the cockpit is like a P-40.
Yeah.
Okay, that basically it blends into the tail. That's the B. I don't think that one was ever around in the polished stainless. Okay, but a P-51 in polished stainless with Normandy invasion stripes is a good looking plane.
There you go.
But Spitfire's better looking, especially with the long 20s coming out of the nose. Not a nose, out of the wings. You know, because the Battle of Britain one still a good one. You got 830 cows. You know, you got 4 in each wing. See, I know this stuff. I play flight simulators. Okay, Mark 1. You know, and then the desert one. The Spitfires that went to the desert. They had some kind of weird cowling on them that I didn't really care so much. But when you start getting into the late war ones, there's some beautiful aircraft, especially with the gray and the green camo. Just an absolutely beautiful aircraft. You know, with the long 20s and coming out of the wings and nice, beautiful aircraft. What else? What other Allied fighters? The Russians also had some fighters that were really nice looking. I want to say Yak-9s because they had this very Nordic, almost like a splinter camouflage scheme with different grays and just really nice looking. Not the ones at the beginning of the war that all died on the freaking ground by the Luftwaffe, just pounded them into the ground. I'm talking about, 43, 44. There's some interesting one, and they had some interesting squadron markings as well. They have like a big freaking arrow on the side of their damn fuselage.
Yeah. They
had some beautiful aircraft as well. Remember, we're just talking about beautiful. We're not talking about effectiveness.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. Bomber.
bomber for the Allies?
Yeah. Most beautiful.
Man, I'd say B-17.
In all drab?
Sure.
I'm going to cheat and say Mosquito.
Ah.
Okay? Of all the bombers, Mosquito's definitely the best looking one for the Allies. Sturmovix don't look bad, but, you know, beautiful, rugged, more like rugged, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
What else? B-26s aren't bad.
Yeah.
I don't like the way B-25s look.
B-24s kind of.
B-24s are okay. But they're just kind of, you know, it's kind of hard to get excited about something that's, the perception is that they're sluggish. Even though they're not. I mean,
Yeah.
they can outrun a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of, you know. Hey, we said beautiful. Your opinion can be totally different than ours. Okay. How about dive bomber, ground attack, etc., etc.? Allies.
Well, that could be like, because you could have P-47 or Corsairs.
You like Corsairs? You like the way Corsairs look?
Oh yeah.
So, I don't. Okay, let's move to the naval theater. Okay. I really like the symbol that the U.S. had at the beginning of the war. That had the standard symbol, but it had the little red dot in the center, and they axed that after Coral Sea, because they're like, we can confuse it with the rising sun symbol. Okay, well, what kind of freaking drugs are you guys doing? Because it's freaking tiny and it's in the middle of a star, but for whatever reason, I think it looked a lot better with that. And I do like the skiing dauntlesses. I think dauntlesses are really pretty, especially when they have that two-tone camo scheme. When the U.S. Navy planes start going to the gloss dark blue with just the regular the star that doesn't have any red in it, it just looks really boring to me. Like Hellcats. People think, oh, Hellcats is the most effective fighter of the war. Well, yeah, it because they had numerical superiority, and those guys lived to fight another day. And the Japanese were kind of at that point when we started getting into the war, they were kind of like, let's just like
one-way trip.
Yeah, one-way trip, okay? But I don't think Hellcats are attractive, and I didn't like the paint schemes that were in it. If you do, well then, you know, that's good for you. But I don't really care. I mean, the only planes in the Pacific that the U.S. had that I find attractive is really the Dauntlesses. I don't care for Corsairs. I generally do not like radial engine planes. Now, some versions of the P-47, when they're in stainless with the bubble canopy, yeah, they look pretty cool. And that's a plane that looks really sluggish, but actually is not bad. I mean, it is all ass.
Yeah.
You know, but it would be remembered, I think, a little bit more fondly if it had a longer range.
Yeah.
Because the P-51 took over, you know, a lot of the duties that it ended up doing. But other ground attack, Typhoons, man. Typhoons are. Hey, I'm a little prejudiced. I like the British planes. I do. You know.
What, the Buffalo?
Oh, the Brewster Buffalo? No, that was an American plane.
Was it? Oh,
Yeah.
Lend-Lease, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Sea fires.
Oh,
Nothing
man.
else?
Nothing
else you can think of?
Yeah.
Nope. If you think of another one, come back to it. Spitfire is ugly. You're gonna burn in hell, Fangirl. Well, you know, it's up to you. You know, I'm not one that's like, oh, it's American. I like that. I don't like other stuff. Hey, you know, sometimes a plane can be beautiful even if it does have a crooked spider on the tail. So,
There you go.
despite the regime, they still can have some cool-looking aircraft. Speaking of the crooked spider, let's go to the other side of the coin.
Oh.
What's your favorite Italian plane? Do you even know any?
Not the Italians.
SM-79? The Savoia Maraschetti? They used them as torpedo bombers. They put 2 torpedoes on them. There's a bomber coming in low, boom, dropping 2 torpedoes. MC 2002. That was the Italian Messerschmitt looking plane. Japanese aircraft. I don't really care for Japanese aircraft. I don't like them.
But the Zero.
The only one that looked cool was the one that is named after, that I was named after, the Tony. Okay, it was like a poor man's Messerschmitt, you know. But the problem with a lot of the Japanese army planes, that was a Japanese army plane, was that they did not have a lot of firepower on them.
Yeah.
You know, they did not have a lot of firepower on them at all. So they were definitely on the weak sauce on that. Okay, favorite Axis fighter.
I'll go Zero.
You like the Zero over the
Zero
German
pretty good.
planes?
I mean, Germany's got a lot of cool planes, but I'll go with Zero.
Focke-Wulf 190 D9. You guys know what that is? Came out really, really late in the war. Got the long nose Focke-Wulf. It's a pretty plane. Messerschmitts pretty much don't look bad all the way through the war. I don't like the ones they use in the desert, where they use that crappy paint scheme that looked like a toddler painted it. You know, when it just looks stupid. Okay. What else? What other Axis fighters were there? Oh, I like. It's technically a fighter because it's a two engine plane. Messerschmitt 410. It's got it's kind of angular front.
Use it for night fighter, right?
It came out at the time of the war where it just got hosed.
Yeah.
Okay, and it didn't come in until really late, but it's a cool looking plane. We're just talking about not necessarily ones that you like, not necessarily that were effective.
But they try and copy the P-38 or what?
Oh no, not at all. No. That was an MU-110. That was, he used those in battle with Britain. They were okay for a long range fighter, but no, a P-38 is much better than one of those. Yeah, I don't care for the Japanese. I don't care for the Japanese planes. I don't. I like the Japanese cars. I drive one of those. The Japanese planes. Not so much. Bombers. Axis bombers.
Probably 110.
Oh, so you're gonna cheat like I did with the Mosquito?
No.
There is a
you know you want to go with the Tony.
It's not a bomber.
That was it?
No. It's a
fighter?
It's a Japanese
Fighter.
underpowered Messerschmitt. Underpowered, armed Messerschmitt.
Okay.
I think it only has like 12.7
They
millimeter.
had like all
machine guns or
women's
something
names,
like
right?
that.
Betty,
Who?
Mabel.
Well, here's the thing that I hate. Okay, if you go and you look at any book and you come across the Zero, Mitsubishi, whatever it is,
Yeah.
A6M3 or whatever, Zero, the nickname for it is always Zeke. Nowhere has someone called that. Oh, that's a Zeke. It's always a Zero. And Zero has to do with the year that it came out of manufacture. Was something has to do with the year zero in the Japanese calendar. That's how the tie-in is there. But nobody have I ever seen in any documentary it says, "Oh, there's a Zeke. Here come the Zekes." Bullshit. It's never seen it. No, there is a Japanese bomber. I don't know which one it is. The performance numbers aren't very good. It's a twin-tail Japanese type bomber. I'm going to call it Sally. It may not be the Sally, but it's actually a good-looking plane. I don't remember what it is. And the Japanese had these huge freaking flying boats, like a Mavis.
Yeah.
Just freaking monstrous flying boats. But yeah, not so much on the Japanese plane. I had a bomber. Duh, Stuka.
Oh yeah.
Stuka's wicked looking.
Yeah.
Now it might be a piece of shit. When you go flying in the air, anything. Cause Brewster Buffalo can probably shoot one of them down. But when you have total air superiority, yeah, Stuka was that was one of my first planes I ever bought as a model. My first model I ever bought was a Flying Tigers P-40. It was a snap kit by I'm gonna say Monogram, probably built in 1980 or 81 or something like that. And I like the tiger mouth on there. So I like that Stuka with the 37 millimeter cannons underneath it that Rudel used at Kursk. Says, it's only 37 millimeter gun. Yeah, but when you hit somebody on top armor, bad news.
Knock knock.
What other bombers can I think of? Axis bombers. The German ones are all kind of wicked looking.
Yeah.
You know. Ground attack, et cetera, et cetera. No, I think we're
Covered? Covered.
I think we're covered on that. Okay. That's it. Anything we left off on planes?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right, let's see any new questions. Let's go here. Rick Kevin says, that's what kind of gets me about Joel, on top of collecting things and not being interested in the topic at large. He loves painting and playing historical and even sounds pretty knowledgeable. Well, you know, he's fooling everybody, isn't he? Some actually do paint up the electric football teams. Yeah, I actually know somebody who painted their football teams.
I've seen, yeah, like you're...
But I've never played that. How does it work? You put your guys in a formation,
Yeah.
and you turn it on, and it randomly,
They go wherever.
they go wherever
One of the
randomly.
guys got the ball.
Okay.
So if one of the other guys touch him, shut it off, call good play,
Oh, okay. Okay.
do your formation.
So,
Turn it on.
so it's a little random.
It's
Okay.
random.
Do you get parts of the do you get parts of the board of the playing area that vibrates more than others? So you know when we're going to get into his 20-yard line, they're going to move farther than others.
I'm going to suppose that some of if your sister stepped on it or something, maybe, yeah. But I just,
Who's this?
okay, lady,
Okay. Declined. You've been declined.
decline.
I don't have to live with that person, so it's not my problem.
Yeah.
Just calling you again.
Oh, maybe there is some. I'll just go ahead, carry on.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and answer the questions here that we have here
There you
before
go.
you get in trouble.
There you go.
And hopefully I don't screw up his phone here because I am not familiar with how it is. So we can answer the questions here. Let's go all the way back to the beginning here. Jeez, why is this misbehaving? Rick Keppen, but seems quick to dismiss topics on the subject favorite general term. Not that there's anything really wrong with that. It's just so interesting to me. I don't know why he does that. It doesn't make any sense to me. And it doesn't have to be somebody that, you necessarily agree with their motivations because, obviously you can have a favorite German general in the Second World War and you don't necessarily agree with what those guys did.
Good.
So Rick Keppen was saying he doesn't understand why Joel seems quick to dismiss topics on the subject of what your favorite general is. He seems pretty knowledgeable, but not really anything wrong with that. Because you can have a favorite German general and not, and not be a Nazi.
Oh yeah.
Just because it's really interesting. Like,
Right. He's
one
more
of those.
wargaming than he's more in the gaming part of it.
Did we get to ask this question? If you get to go back in time to see a battle, what battle you get to go see? What battle would you get to go see? If all of a sudden like, hey, let me get some unobtainium. I have this time machine that works on unobtainium, and you have some, and you can go back in time. What battle do you go see?
Man.
Sorry for the sidetrack. That's a good
Yeah.
question. I think we
Well,
got
I
that
mean,
question
there's
before.
there's so many big.
So you don't have one that comes right off the bat.
Well, it's almost like a toss-up.
Kursk all the way.
Well, that's all like.
Kursk all the way. All the way.
I mean, that you get the biggest tank battle.
Well, okay, now, time out. So supposedly that's not the biggest tank battle.
But it was ferocious.
It was ferocious. Supposedly the biggest tank battle was about a week into Barbarossa, where the forces that went towards the south encircled a shitload of like Soviet tank armies, and they duked it out. It didn't go well for the Soviets.
Uh-huh.
Okay, but supposedly that's the biggest.
That's early stuff.
It's very early. So you're talking about like T-26s,
Yeah.
a handful of T-34s,
Yeah.
and Panzer IIIs and 4s,
Yeah.
and 2s going at it.
As compared to.
And I don't remember what the name of the battle is called, but yes, it's part of the Kiev pocket, and I don't remember what it's called right now. It has several different names depending on what it is. Supposedly that's the biggest one, but I'm going back to see Kursk because I want to see what the markings are.
See, that's
I want to see do those Panthers really catch fire when they crank them up? that kind of stuff. So,
And I might go with Waterloo.
Waterloo? Did you already know what's going to happen?
I know.
Okay.
Just to see it.
You're such a nappy head. My nappy-headed friend here.
Yes. Yes.
Ethan. Uh-oh. I hope I don't mess up your name. I'll say it, not you. You'll
Yeah.
screw it up. Sizalkas. Gotta be Greek. Anything wrong with it? Welcome. Garden Tractor Mania. That's a great name. My friend Connor Hughes wants to be... Okay, not like Connor. My friend Connor Hughes wants to be in the adult film industry. What do you recommend? I don't know. I don't have any friends that want to be in the industry, and if they were, they wouldn't be named Connor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not interested in seeing a Connor. Sorry, folks.
Here's a big head thing right here. Change your name.
Yeah. Hello from France. I never liked sports either. Frank Cousins. Yeah, you've been on here before. Yeah. Where are we from? We are from... Jesus, thing's misbehaving. We are from Gainesville, Florida. North Central Florida, the land of BBA, where we get together every week.
Freedom!
Yeah, freedom, exactly. Oh boy. Well, let's do this. Alright. We don't need to have one of those. This is not one of those type of channels, so, you know.
That guy.
We have fun, but, you know, hey, you know, you guys can make, like, off-color remarks. You know what, you've seen my paint videos. You know, we definitely go off-color on stuff,
Yeah.
but, you know. This is related to, you know, gaming. Yeah.
There's plenty of other channels for that other stuff.
Yeah. Go to the discussion board on Pornhub. Is there one of those?
I don't know.
You can go there. Yeah, check that out.
He knows.
Yeah. Rick Keppen says one of my favorite videos of yours of all time, and believe me, it's hard to choose with all of your content is your video on improving the look of your battlefield from a couple of years ago. Yeah, that was like the first one I did.
Yeah.
And it was a pain to do because of taking all little shots and everything. So yeah, wasn't as animated maybe as I am now, but yeah, I believe that was my first video. So yeah, any plans for more one-off videos like that in the future? A camp showcase, your favorite elements across all your armies. I don't know. They take a lot of time to do.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to do the edit videos I have to edit because they really cut down on my production time. Because basically, in a nutshell, I know I've explained this many times before. If you shoot a 3-hour video and you edit it, that's actually fun to do. It's easy to do on the editor. But when it's time to like, okay, that's what I want to go with, it takes about 3 hours of me not being able to use my phone because it's compressing it constantly, so it can be. It's called exporting, but it's really putting it in a format. Well, you know, I mean, you make videos. It's the exporting process that I have to do through my phone that takes for frickin' ever.
Ties it up.
You know, so I don't enjoy that part. Question for Joel. He's not here. He left. Greg. But Mark and I are getting back into DBN. Mark is concerned DBN doesn't have the squares of formation, but I'm not that bothered. What is Joel's take on this? Well, I'm not going to answer for him, but I will. I think he's okay with it because it's just temporary.
Basically, it's you're doing
It's that die roll
that
you
infantry
get.
roll.
Yeah.
When the cavalry closes in on the infantry, it's only going to be either they weren't prepared, which I think. As long as you roll under a 5 or 6, I think it is, you're going to be. I think if you roll like a.
You get a roll to see whether or not
Yeah.
you're in square when you get hit.
But there's a chance that you roll super poorly and you'll be a -1 that you did not get prepared at all. And then there's a chance that.
But it's gone for one turn, right? The next
it's
turn
just
you're
for
out
that
of the
combat.
square, just for that one combat.
with mounted versus infantry.
I've said this before. If you are a real big into Napoleonics, DBN may not be your thing for you.
Yeah,
it's like they make World War II rules
Yeah.
that are DBA related. I won't touch it with a 12-foot pole. You know, I'm not going to touch that. Yeah, it doesn't give me the
It's
flavor
just
that I
not a
want to
big
have.
thing. It's just
Yeah.
not a big thing with the cab and the infantry.
So,
But
DBS
there's
is
a
great
chance-
because you can play a big battle in 3 hours while you're filming it, and you can play something else, and
Yeah.
you can pick different units if you want to be more tactical or more of a DBA feel than more of a Napoleonic feel. Then maybe that is not the correct thing for you. So, Greg Keller says the bow fighter as a heavy fighter and the Mosquito as a fighter and bomber. Yeah, the bow fighter is not a bad looking plane. It's got a little bit of a bubble nose on it. Bengal Wolf likes Hellcat, and he thinks Spitfire's ugly. See, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. You like big. You like big.
Planes.
No, you like big the radial engine, and you cannot lie. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I don't like radial engine planes generally. I don't like how they look. I prefer inline, regardless of performance. I just mean from a beauty aspect, but Focke-Wulf 190. I don't like the A's. I don't like the Focke-Wulf 190 A's. They're too stubby. Better looking planes, World War I or early Jets Korea area. World War I all the way. The best looking plane of World War I, in my opinion, is an Albatross D5. It's a good looking plane. I don't care if there's other ones that are more effective. The Germans used freaking purple in their planes on World War I. That alone should be a reason to watch it. And if you guys hadn't seen it, make sure you check out the movie that came out. Well, it's probably 5 years now. The Red Baron movie from like 5 years ago. The special effects in that plane is freaking amazing. Just amazing special effects. Check that out. And there's a little bit of everything in that plane. Was there ever a time in the night's battle when you wanted to pull Mitch aside to discuss something or get on the same page without Joel listening in? No, I didn't. I don't like that part.
When I game with a group of people, I let him make his own decision, and I make mine. And,
Yeah, I like having a teammate, but not micromanaging a teammate.
Hey, do this, do that, do that. No.
Because we've played in convention games where you get somebody on your side that's not experienced, and they want you to tell them what to do. One person in particular is like, I want to know what to do. I want to know what to do. I said, well, you can either do this or do that or do the other thing. No, tell me what to do. Well, why don't you just go freaking to the bar and I'll run your damn army.
Even when we play DBA at conventions and I got a new player and we're playing competition or whatever, we played the one girl that won the Open, and I was playing with her, and she wasn't real comfortable about exactly what to do, but what I would do is lay out, these are the options. What do you want to do?
You can move these guys forward, but not within bull range because you only have one guy and they have four. Or, maybe shore this
So
up
you give
or
them
push
what
this
options
one
you
side.
see, and then you say, okay, what do you want to do?
That's how you teach somebody to play.
Yeah.
Is, they don't want to be discouraged. Like, how are you going to ever have a clue?
I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to say, these are your options.
Especially
What
when
do
the
you
game
wanna
is
do?
as abstract as this. This is a very abstract game.
Yeah.
It'd be like, okay, well, we're going to teach you how to play chess. Okay, this is how the guys move. All right, you decide what to do. Well,
Yep.
how are they going to ever have a clue? So. Rick Kevin says, are those military helmets on the shelves behind Tony? Yes.
Yes.
What do you have there?
Yeah. So I think there's a Russian one, German one.
You got a modern American one, well, modern before. Is it a Fritz or is it pre-Fritz?
I believe it's. Yeah.
You got PIF helmets, you got a Vietnam helmet, you got a Vietnam
The Russian. I got the Russian.
NBA helmet, you got all kinds of
I
stuff.
think I got the Russian one.
The good thing about it is they've never been washed, so
Yeah,
they
there
came
you
in just from the trenches. Ministry of Silly Hats.
There you go.
That's Russian.
Yep.
And so is that. No?
No, I think that's the American one, maybe.
It says made in China. It's definitely American. I don't This is, I don't think this is American. The American one doesn't dip like this. I could be wrong though. That's definitely Russian.
Yeah, that's the Russian one.
Okay.
And
This is probably Spanish.
I think so.
Yeah, because they copied a lot of the German one would cost a lot more.
Is that Romanian?
Or Hungarian. Hungarian. Yep.
So they're Hungarian or?
Yep. Why do you have all these helmets? You expecting something to
Oh
happen?
no, a long time ago I just kind of collected. I think that's the.
Yeah, Commonwealth, right?
I think the
Is it World War
Americans
One or
have-
World War II?
I think it's.
All Americans look silly in this helmet.
Well, they started off.
I understand, but that's just, you know.
You know,
And this is what, like a fire brigade?
Yeah, I think so.
In London?
Yeah.
Yeah, guy with a hose. What else you got there?
Yeah,
There's a lot of helmets.
he's a hoser.
You gotta pull them out. You ask the question, you gotta provide services here.
Here it comes.
Here's the four feathers one.
Yeah. Dun-dun-dun.
Okay. That's your Vietnam era? No,
There you
this is
go.
your modern one. Okay, so this is a modern helmet, right? Does it have a dip in it? No, I'm pretty sure this is Soviet, dude. I'm pretty sure that was Soviet. Ah,
Or
yes.
Belgian. French or Belgian?
Has RF on it. Is it French or Belgian? It's got the reinforcing here on the top, so if you want to butt heads with somebody.
There you go.
That's modern German,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
With their
Camouflage.
inspired by SS Smart Camo, but don't tell them that, because, you know, they'll have to change your tampon over there.
And I think this
Yeah,
is the
no,
British.
this is modern
Or is that the
Bundeswehr.
Is that the American?
That is, this is British.
That's British.
Yeah, this is British. I'm pretty sure this is British. Yep. You can hide those little, you can pull little tufts and things in there.
This kind of goofy, I think it's,
I don't know what the hell that is. That might be Swedish or something like that.
call it, somebody
Yeah.
call it.
They don't know. They're just freaking
Yeah,
guessing.
there you go.
That's not American. You don't have a Fritz. Yeah, this is the.
Nope.
This is like the one that they used in what's that Clint Eastwood movie where he goes into Grenada?
Oh yeah,
Is it Heartbreak Ridge?
yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's just a make believe.
Yeah.
You got that at
Yeah.
Disney World at the Jungle Cruise.
Give it up.
Uh huh. Okay. Helmets.
Helmets.
Let's get the questions back here. Jeez, what happened? Man, your phone is.
All over the place.
Do you put something down like a spray sealer or something on your bases when you're finished creating them to keep the flux stamp from coming off? No, I spray the figures, and then and the flock, I guess, could come off, but you could just as easily just repair it with more. So that's relatively easy. Now, if I do like your enclosures and stuff like that, those are sprayed down because you're going to come in contact with that stuff.
Yeah.
But never really had an issue on that. So. Do you have different camps for all your armies, or do you sometimes reuse the same camp for different armies? If they appear generic enough, you each seem to have a decent sized camp collection. You've got more than I do. I just, unless I'm inspired by doing something in particular, I skip over and do the camp and not do the camp.
I try to have as many themed camps as I can.
Well,
but
you buy them.
Some of them I gotta.
So you just throw money at the problem and you're done. I've got to spend
A
hours.
lot easier.
I've got to spend. Yeah, well, you know, whatever. Well, you're not talented.
Uh huh.
Yeah. Joel mentioned something about the game tonight going better than earlier one day. Did you guys play the same scenario earlier today? I didn't. I was working. Somebody's got to keep the economy of this country going. And you know, the other two slackers didn't didn't game.
Me and Joel played it earlier, and
There were more helmets back there than I thought. You know, there's more helmets back here than I thought too.
yeah,
So.
gotcha.
Battle of Dubno, 1941. It actually has another name as well. Soviets attempted to carry out their national defense plan, but the Germans moved too quickly. Yeah. Yeah. That was supposedly the biggest battle in
World War II.
no, tank battle. The biggest tank battle ever. But then, you know, like the Russians had like some absurd number, like 10,000 or something. But then a lot of them didn't operate or didn't make it to the front or spill parts. You know, the whole, you know, the Russians in early 1941, it's like, you know, all elbows, you know, not being able to get things up there like they're supposed to. So, okay.
Right.
Well, now you got something to do.
There you
Put
go.
these helmets away.
Thanks, guys.
There you go.
All right.
Okay, folks. Until next time, we should be back on next Monday, I would imagine.
Yep.
And we'll do some DBA related stuff. And if you guys get any other questions that you didn't get answered, throw them on here. And we get enough of them on here, we'll do another video. Still, we're on here 55 minutes, so that's worth it.
All right.
Or just have to get somebody like CJ Hobbyfly or Rick Keppen or Patty Green or somebody. Just throw 4 or 5 questions and, you know, we can get it moving. So,
All right.
yeah. Read about that Battle of Dubno. There's actually a couple books on it or whatever. So, anyhow, until next time,
Enjoy.
thanks for stopping by and catch you guys later.
See ya.
See ya.